Today we are on a Spencer's Adventures field trip to this place where I camped last night.
I actually cannot believe I'm sleeping at a drive-in right now.
But first, if you don't know me, I'm Spencer, and I like to talk about simple living, frugality, and ways to cut down on your technology usage, sometimes by using other technologies. So if you haven't heard, I've been on a road trip for like the last 2 weeks for work. I drove across the country to the east coast of Canada, and I've been working out here on a couple of different film and television jobs for the last few weeks and living out of my RAV4. I was lucky enough that for the last few days, my job put me up in a hotel, so I was able to shower and get cleaned up and enjoy myself there. But as of yesterday, I'm back on the road again, and I'm just spending a little bit more time out here before I head home. When my job ended yesterday morning, I was in Nova Scotia, and I didn't really know what I was going to do with my day. But what I ended up deciding to do was hop on a late evening ferry over to Prince Edward Island. All right, I'm on the ferry to PEI now. It rained for a little bit, but now the sun's out and it's really beautiful. The seats are a bit wet now from the little bit of rain, but I think I might just sit out here and just take the wet butt. It's a lot nicer than sitting indoors the entire time. People pay money to go on a tour like this. I just get to be on here now for the next hour and a bit, so I might as well enjoy it. As soon as I landed in Prince Edward Island, I started to do some research to see where I could stay. As I've mentioned, I've done tons of road tripping throughout North America over the last 10 years of my life. I've been all around Canada and the USA, and I wouldn't have been able to do those trips if I didn't do it on the cheap. And the biggest way to save money while you're traveling like that is to cut your accommodation costs as low as possible. Hotels can be extremely expensive, and they are completely out of the question, but even overnight campsites can be very expensive as well. A lot of times they're just parking lots with grass and they charge an arm and a leg for them. I've paid as much as $40 or $50 for an overnight parking spot at a campground that has no services whatsoever, no electricity, no water, whatever, just basically a spot to pitch a tent, and it's 40 or 50 bucks for a night. And that's just not a good deal for me. That just doesn't fit into my budget. So I always look for somewhere to camp for free while I'm traveling. I saw that in the capital city of Charlottetown, there was a Walmart that allowed overnight camping. So I considered that, and I kept that as a backup option if I needed to. But I didn't really want to stay there necessarily. I wanted to see if I could find something that was free, but a little bit more scenic or a little bit more interesting. So I found myself on freecampsites.net. I think that's the URL. It lists all of the free campsites that are available throughout the province. That site had about 7 different options listed, and the one that caught my eye first was this place, the Brackley Drive-In. I thought this was a mistake, but this drive-in theater allows overnight camping with the price that you pay for admission. It just so happened that I was coming to the province on a Sunday, and if I drove from the ferry directly to the drive-in theater, I would have 10 minutes to spare before the movie started, which was Twisters. Now, I wasn't even really interested in seeing Twisters because I don't really like all these reboots of franchises that has been going on over the last few years, but this was honestly the best place to see it, seeing it at a drive-in theater like this, and I really enjoyed the film actually. Overall, the experience was great. This place has, I don't know, like maybe 10 campsites carved out in the back row of the theater in the tree line here. And you're able to park there if you want for the entire time and watch the film from there as well, and then camp. This isn't some kind of like sketchy thing that you can kind of get away with doing that maybe the owners aren't super happy about and you have to keep on the down low. It's not something that I think they advertise, but I spoke to, I believe, the owner who was taking tickets at the door, and she was very accommodating and explained all that I needed to know. How you doing? Good, thank you.
Want to see Despicable Me first or Twisters first?
Twisters. And also, question.
Sure.
Sorry, this is my first time here. Is there overnight parking allowed here? There is. Okay, great. That's awesome. I have a camper, so
Oh, perfect.
that's great. Thank you so much.
You have a camper?
Yeah, I have a full bed built in the back of this.
Oh, so make sure when you park, your parking brake goes on, your light switch goes all the way off.
Okay.
You're going to tune your radio to 99.1 because you're going to be on this side. Now, you can park anywhere you like, but when you're ready to go to bed,
Yep.
try and go to the back row and just pull into one of the camper spots. That way, he won't knock on your window to see if like you need a boost or anything. He won't disturb you.
Oh, that's nice. Okay,
Yes,
great.
Or you can park back there to start with. It's up to you.
All right, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Enjoy your night.
Thanks, you too. Woo, we're in. That's awesome.
Storms are getting more erratic, a lot of new housing developments going on.
And my sleep was honestly great. It was more undisturbed than I would typically have at a Walmart, where throughout the night there'd be maybe cars driving through the lot and other disturbances. This was quite quiet, and there was actually really nobody else here except for one other couple. Two sites down, there was another couple who had parked there and they had put their tent out and were sleeping. So cool to wake up at a drive-in theater. This was such an interesting place to find to sleep. I had no clue that I was even going to wind up in PEI yesterday when I woke up, and I really had no clue that I was going to be sleeping at a drive-in. I wanted to make this video just to show you guys some of the interesting and kind of different ways that you can travel and sleep on the cheap. I imagine this isn't the only kind of cool accommodation that you can stay for free as you're traveling throughout North America or elsewhere. This is just one of the ones that I happen to have found. So I encourage you, if you want to travel and do road tripping like this and try to find somewhere to sleep that is both cheap and also exciting or fun or interesting, to look into something like free campsites or look into something like Walmart camping. These are all good ways to save money and also maybe have a fun experience as well. This place only costs like 10 or 12 bucks to come in for the night and watch the movie. I spent $5 on a popcorn, and I also got a free drink ticket with my admission, and I got to sleep here overnight and wake up in a place like this. This is a really cool theater as well. It's like a very retro vibe. There's jukeboxes up here, there's old cars, and a drive-in theater is just fun in general. The staff was really nice. There was tons of people here. Everybody was very happy and polite, and just we're all excited to be here. And it was great. It was great watching Twisters. It was a perfect spot to just lay in the back of my car. I got to lay in my bed and open the trunk and just kind of look out at the movie from there, and laying around eating popcorn, watching the movie, and then you get to go to bed right away. Like, what a deal. So I don't really have too much more to say on this. All in all, I just want to say, check around while you're camping. Don't think that you have to just pay and go to a paid campground to, travel on the semi-cheap and sleep in your car while you're traveling. There's a lot of good free options out there where you're able to travel around, save a lot of money, cut the biggest cost other than gas, I think, for traveling like this. And then also maybe have some fun, get a little bit of entertainment bundled into your camping experience as well. This is something that I'm going to definitely look for in the future, and if I end up coming back to PEI anytime in the future, I'm going to come back here to the Brackley Theater because I know I'm going to have a good time, I know I'm going to have a good sleep, and I'm going to be able to eat some good food and watch a movie. Like, who could beat that? So I hope you guys found this video interesting. Let me know if you guys have had any kind of cool overnight camping experiences while road tripping. Something like this or something even different than this. I'd be happy to hear from you. Also, let me know if you've seen Twisters and what you thought of that. I was actually pleasantly surprised by that film. I thought it was actually pretty decent. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.